Yo, my people, CFC Redis Blue back with another video, and it's the player ratings video for the Chelsea vs Manchester United match in the Premier League today, which ended 1-1. We are going to go through our players. Well, I'm going to go through the Chelsea players, I'll go through the Man United, alternating as well, that's what they'll do, but I'm going to start with my Chelsea player ratings. And obviously, Kepa Arrizabalaga, another game where you've made saves. Another game where I can't say you've played bad. Obviously, it's unfortunate that I wish you could have done better, or it's been longer to just stop Casemiro's goal from going in. But nonetheless, you had a good game. I can't say anything bad about you. So for me, my rating for you today, I'm gonna give you a 7. And then for my centre backs, because Trevor Chalobah played right centre back today, and I feel like he had a great game. I feel like he didn't do anything wrong. He made great challenges, came close to scoring a goal, and another game where he starts and we don't lose. That's now 30 games where he's played, started for Chelsea, and we haven't lost in any competition. So
that's a very mad stuff.
I'll be real. He plays solid, and I'm just happy to know that we can always rely on him, because Fofana's out. But my rating for Chalobah, I'm going to give him a 7 as well. And then central centre back Thiago Silva, decent game. I don't feel like you had a lot to deal with, so he wasn't really called into action that much. But in the second half, we controlled the game better, and you just did the normal Marshall of the defense. So for me, my rating for you today, I'm gonna give you a 6.5. And then we have Cucurella, who had a decent game, and for me, I feel like he also deserves a 6.5. Then we have Ben Chilwell, who had a very good game, obviously, because he had to deal with Anthony, and I feel like Anthony wasn't on nothing today. He tried to do so many different tricks and that, and he literally couldn't take Chilwell on. He did nuts him once, but realistically, nothing really came from that. And it is what it is. If a player just nuts you, he's a very skillful player, so you can always expect that. But for me, Chilwell, my rating for him today, I'm also going to give him a 7. And then we have right wing back Cesar Azpilicueta, who surprisingly, like, I personally would have started him right wing back, but he played well. Not really. What can you really say that he did wrong? Nothing much. You would have hoped that maybe sometimes if he stretched out the ball long enough, stretched out his body long enough, he could have stopped the ball. But he's getting older. He can't play every game. But today he was called in for a big match, and he performed well. So my rating for him, I'm going to give him a 6.5. Then we have our central midfielders, Jorginho, who for me today, I'm going to say is my man of the match. I'm going to give him an 8 as well, because even when we are not controlling the game, he's always a player that can position himself well, and he never really gives the ball away. He's always ready to take a foul, just like he did near to the end of the game, just so that we could try and get the W before them lot scored. So, and he tucked away the penalty, which gave everyone a huge belief that we would win the game, but it wasn't the case. But he still had an incredible match, and for me, my rating for him, like I said, I'm going to give him an 8. And then Ruben Loftus-Cheek, another player who played very well. Like, I'll be real, I can't really say a lot of Chelsea players played bad, because we didn't do a lot wrong. The game was very even. If you look at the whole thing, obviously everyone had 2 different halves who played better, but Loftus, you use your body well. The bigger you are, you won us many fouls as well, and who knows, maybe you could have done better, got forward more maybe to score a goal, but it wasn't the case. And my rating for you, I'm going to give you a 7. Then we have our attackers, who I feel didn't have the best match. Mason Mount, attacking wise, your corners were not that great. Like you're giving away fouls, and personally, I just feel like the attack was non-existent for the majority of the match. So for me, my rating for you, Mount, I'm gonna give you a 6. Aubameyang, I don't even know what you did. I feel like in the game, you could have thrown your head at the ball and made a header instead of you trying to take a touch to try to shoot. You also had a shot, which, what kind of a shot was that? It just went wide. It just didn't look comfortable at all. Due to the fact, obviously, they had us in the first half locked up and we couldn't really pressure, but I feel like we could have done more. And even when you had time on the board to make decisions, you didn't do the best thing. So my rating for you, I'm going to give you a 5. And Raheem Sterling, you never really have a good game against Manchester United, if man's being real. And today,
never has.
It's one of those days where you just didn't have a good performance. Like, it wasn't a bad performance, but it wasn't something we can say that, yeah, really turned us up. So, just like I said, for all of our attackers, not great performance. And I'll give you guys, I'll give Sterling a 5 as well. So, and now we're going to move on to our substitutes. Kovacic, he came on in the first half. He made us play better, being in the midfield, driving with the ball, again winning us possession a lot of the time, and yeah, just building up our tempo and making us more into the game. So, had a good game, Kovacic. My rating for him, I'm going to give him a 7. And then we also have Christian Pulisic, who came on but didn't have a great impact, didn't take on a lot of players, didn't create a lot of chances. So for me, I'm just going to give you a 5. Chukwuemeka Meka came on, another person, didn't really do much like that, did try to drive forward, make a chance and that, but nothing really came of it. And my rating for you is a 5. And Armando Broja, I'm personally just going to give you a 5.5 due to the fact that you actually won us the pen. Even though it was a soft pen, but nonetheless, you won it for us. So, big you up for that. My rating for you is a 5.5. And Graham Potter, my rating for you, I'm going to have to give you a 7. Made good changes. The changes you did make made us more involved in the game. But I just don't know. Like, I would might have started not Kepa, Cesar Spilicueta, but other than that, the team did the job. We wanted to soak up possession in the first half and try to wear them down to make us more attackable and to make us have a better attack in the second half with the different subs you could make. But yeah, man, you didn't get the W. Nearly was the first manager to beat Manchester United with 2 different teams in one season, but it isn't the case.
One of the second.
Yeah, it would have been the second. My bad, it would have been the second person to do it. So it is what it is. But my rating for you is a 7, and that's going to end my Chelsea player ratings. I'm going to hand you over to the Manchester United guys. They'll go through their players and their manager and give their ratings and their thoughts on the players that they want to give their thoughts on.
We'll start with De Gea. I can't really fault what De Gea did today, if I'm honest. I didn't see. He could have saved the penalty, but penalty 50-50 kind of situations. He's never been good at stopping penalties anyway, really. Well, hasn't been recently anyway, because he made a few saves at the beginning of his career, but seemingly just dropped off. So I'd probably give him like an 8, just because he conceded the goal in it. So didn't have a perfect performance. He didn't have much to do either, but when he had to make a save here and there or stop, he did. But yeah.
Sounds good for the hair. Right back, Dalot. As he knows, I actually absolutely hate Dalot personally. But today, it wasn't as strong as the Tottenham performance, because he had a very strong performance against Tottenham. Today, I would probably say he should get, I'll give him a 7.5. I'll give him a 7.5 for that one still, because he made a lot of tackles, challenges, nice forward drives, chops, passes. He was doing a lot of stuff still, but there was the few odd mistakes, especially early on as well, where it's just like these are the things that I'm on him about. Because since you want to be top right back, you best do everything forward and back. So don't think I'm just going to praise you going forward and just forget about everything that you're doing wrong in defence. No, I'm going to be on you for both. So that's what it is for Dalot. He's got 7.5 today.
Varane. It's a shame, obviously. Varane having to come off injured. It looked like it might have been something to do with his knee, because the way he was like standing up, the way we were saying that Ambz was describing the way the momentum carried him when he fell down, and it just looks like his leg was not trying to defend him in any way. It was just limp. So that's the worst ones. Hopefully, we can only hope it's nothing serious, because he did call the stretcher away and walked off by himself. But obviously I've seen in the past people will tear their ACLs, and sometimes they just keep playing games, like the adrenaline just kicks in there. So we'll see what it says. Obviously we didn't hear because Ten Hag was just talking, but for what he was doing, the stops that he had made, the clearances he had made, I think at that point in time he would have probably had like a 7.5, 8 for me. He wasn't really doing anything wrong, but obviously because much of the game hadn't really happened yet, then yeah, there's nothing really. I can't give him a perfect performance, because who knows what would have happened later in the game. But yeah, around the 8 as well.
Yeah, that's good for him. Martinez, yeah, you're looking at yeah, I'll probably give you a 8.5. Even I just see something just come up now on the screen where you come through with that brilliant dive and header on Sterling to intercept the ball, which then gave the ball to Fernandes, which he then turned around and passed through Anthony, and then Anthony did not wrap his foot around it or even outside the foot with his left foot, and we could have been 1-0 up at the end of the first half. But Martinez, as usual, strong, committed guy, committed in every way possible. Headers, tackles, even just standing his ground. Literally, he is what we need. So I'm glad we got him. And personally, today I'll give him a 9, because I don't really see that he's put any foot wrong. To be honest, obviously he wasn't at fault at all for giving away that penalty. So just on the simple fact that we didn't actually get a clean sheet, I would probably say yeah, he's got a 9, because anytime someone come up against him, he won that battle. So yeah, I'll give him a 9.
And then Shaw. Honestly, I feel like maybe Shaw had probably just a bit lesser of a game than Dalot, because I think with Dalot you saw him attack more a few times, you saw him make a few more runs in comparison. I feel like Shaw, I described a lot of the players like this in the match review, and a lot of the players just felt very, very basic, very safe. I didn't feel Shaw, like the way Shaw played when we played Spurs, I saw him being a bit more aggressive. I saw him attacking the left a tiny bit more. I didn't really see that with Chelsea, like the overlaps and that kind of thing. It wasn't as present today. So with Shaw, I can't really fault him defensively like that either. Nothing really happened on the right hand side apart from that time when they crossed it in and Sterling miscontrolled the ball, which went to the Aubameyang. That time it kind of like came from the right side. But other than that, yeah, Shaw will probably get like a 7 for me.
That's calm. Crunch into the boy Casemiro.
Clutch, man.
Clutch. Yo, you see you, my boy. 9.5. I would give you 10, but there was 2 odd little mistakes that I felt you made. But it's not like you're always going to go throughout the whole match without making one little mistake. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I personally, if we won the match, you definitely would have got the 10. You are my personal man of the match anyway, because you stopped us from even looking like the joke men that we are and saved us from an L. So big up my boy for that. Crunching tackles, getting forward, everything. Like, you are just a complete package for what man needs. Like, you can ping it, drive. You even get up there and score headers, bro. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you do it all. So not 1 foot wrong, to be honest. 9.5, solid performance, man of the match.
Oh, Eriksen, man. You weren't the worst player on the pitch. For what I needed from you in the midfield, I wouldn't say you're the worst player on the pitch. We'll get to that, man, in a hot second. But I think you should have done so much more, Eriksen. Like, you should have played a few more ambitious passes, I like to say, like, or them over the tops, them through balls, like them fizzed passes I saw you making so many times in the other games that we played. I just didn't see it from you this game. It was very, you got the ball, pass it back. You got the ball, maybe a tiny pass forward, comes back to you, pass it back. Just, it felt the same repeated motion every time. So it didn't help that you played that way. Honestly, I think you were probably like a 4 or a 5 out of 10. No, I'll be harsh, I'll give you 4, man. Like, what I want from you, what I expect from you, is just, no, I don't think it was good enough today, man. Even defensively, I saw you mess the ball up a couple times as well. Just, no, it wasn't good. For me, it wasn't good.
No, I definitely agree with that too. Fernandez, you was getting the ball, picking it up, making your nice forward passes. You put Rashford in once, you put in Anthony, which both chances personally should have just went back of the net. So that would have been the 2-0 that I was screaming anyway, do you know what I'm trying to say? And that would have been game over from there, first half. Obviously, like you always do, you do your little, try to do your little flares and tricks and stuff, and sometimes it goes to plan, sometimes it don't. But really and truly, you didn't do anything major wrong. You didn't even get a yellow card for complaining or anything, because you know usually that's what you do. I think you've got captain's armband so that you can complain, so that they can't really say too much, because before they could tell you, yo, go away, you're not captain, you're captain now, so you gotta hear me. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You hear me now. So I hear that one there for you, Bruno. But yeah, I'll say I'll probably give you an 8 today still. 8. You try to keep the attack going. As always, you're always running, trying to get forward. I just always think that, you see, when we're 0-0, when we're like 65th minute, you start to panic a bit. I think that's the reason why we have players like Ericsson, because it don't matter what minute of the match is, he's composed. He gets the ball, pass it back, keeps the ball and stuff. But sometimes you might try to hit the ball over the top, but you've overhit it. There was a chance you got, nice first touch, you smashed it, but it went roll H. So
oh yeah.
So you get me, it's them little things, you're just a little too eager. Put your phone down, a little too eager. So yeah, that's what I'll personally say for you, Bruno. You can hold an 8 today for that.
I want to go on to Sancho.
That's why I went to Bruno.
Because this man,
go on.
Honestly, the same way I described some of the other players where they were just playing it safe, Sancho played it safe today to a completely new level. I have never seen a man who is meant to be a forward player dribble maybe once past a man. And it was that time when he was going up against, you remember when he just got into the box and there was 2 defenders in front of him, and he tried to kind of like weave through.
I was screaming, get a pen.
That's
what he was trying to do.
That's
he was trying to get a pen.
The only time I saw anything from Sancho in terms of going forward. If there was other times, or there might have been other times, but anything significant to me, that was probably the one time.
That means all the other times were probably just him acting like he's getting forward and then turns back and passes.
And then he had that one shot which went like fairly low, bounced on the ground, and Kepa was quite calm.
That's because it was the rebound.
Yep.
It was deflection. That's what I think it was.
Other than that, Sancho, my bro, 2 out of 10 today, man. 2 out of 10. It's just, for what we expect from you as an attacker, I think you barely put a cross in. You had that one shot, you didn't dribble, you kept passing it back. You were getting outrun by flipping Azpilicueta. Like,
there was even 2 little opportunities in defence where I felt like you should have won the ball and you didn't, and I was thinking you're just trying to put us in trouble. So yeah, definitely agree. Personally, I think I probably would have gave you 3, but it's not like it's a lot better. So
yeah,
it is what it is. Anthony, you little skillful little favela, you, yeah. All you kept doing was that skills, bro. Bare skills, left foot. You even done your little Anthony around the world thing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, bro, you think we got time for that, bro? We're 0-0. Do that when we're 3-0 up. You can do whatever the hell you want to do when we're 3-0 up. Put the game to bed. Don't be stood spinning around the whole world, the axis and the globe and all of that, bro. And we ain't even got a goal. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You probably only had about maybe 2 shots before you even done that little spin thing yourself. So that's not even good, bro. You're not doing enough. You weren't creating enough. Maybe you want Ronaldo back so that you don't have to. All you have to do is try and whip the ball in. Maybe that's what you want to do. I'm not really seeing the same guy that I saw in the first 3 Premier League matches. But even when we went to our next Europa League match after whatever first or 2 matches you played in the Prem, he was a 50-50 guy to me personally. But right now I'm just seeing that you're actually just, all you know is your left foot. And since the fact is all you know is your left foot, why the hell did you not outside the foot with your left foot? Please tell me. I will not understand. You had a nice angle. It's the angle that tells me you can do this. You had a nice angle going like this. You could have lovely outside the foot. It would have just skirted around, probably hit the post, went in, 1-0 up. End of the first half, you would have been happy. You would have probably come out stronger. Things like that. But nonetheless, Anthony, I'm just going to give you a 6. I'm giving you a 6 because you didn't do nothing major. Yeah, you nutmegged Chilwell. Alright, cool. Yeah, I'll not lie. I was excited at that point. Don't get it twisted, but you didn't do anything with it at the end. So for me personally, yeah, you get a 6, especially for missing that big opportunity. Definitely a 6.
I don't even know what to give Rashford, man. I'll be so honest. I don't know what to give Rashford. Like, him and Anthony were just as bad as the others.
That's why I was about to say I'll probably give him a 6 because it's just the fact that the only thing is he was making so much runs that the Mandem's just not giving him the ball.
But you know what my issue was, is that when he made these runs, fair enough, you didn't get the ball. I get your frustration, but then there was one moment where I think it was Bruno. He didn't get a run. He didn't get a pass for one of his runs, and then Bruno got the ball and he switched it to him.
He was
just like slow. He was just standing still, and I'm thinking, look.
And I said as well. I said he's mad right now. That's what it is. But I know that frustration stuff because obviously man's played football for whatever teams and whatnot. So I've had times where I'm screaming, pass the ball, play it over the top, do whatever, and man's not doing it, and then I'm frustrated and I'm mad at this point. And then if I just kept my head on and kept going, there was an opportunity then and there, but because I'm mad and I'm not focusing and I'm thinking about myself instead of thinking about the team, the opportunity's gone and it's wasted because I wasn't switched on when I was really supposed to be. Like, you need to be switched on for every second that you're on that pitch, because at any moment you could make that run, it don't come, but you see when you trap back on side, your player yams up that other player, passes it straight through for you. Now you're on and you can go and score. But sometimes this will happen, like even with Ronaldo. He will get mad that the ball didn't come to him, will win the ball back, and you're offside.
Yeah.
And now
he just stood there watching.
And now we can't do anything. So this is what the players need to remember. They need to remember that this is a factor in football. Sometimes you're not always going to get the ball every time you ask for it. You just got to stay on your toes, stay ready, and when that ball does come, be ready to take your opportunity.
Yeah.
It's that simple. So I think we both agree, just give Rashford a 6.
Yeah.
Just give him a 6. He had his 2 opportunities on target at least. So yeah, look, I miss you, my boy, so much. I'm not gonna lie, I miss you so much. We ain't even gonna mention his name, but yeah. Subs. Who's the first one?
Lindelof.
Lindo.
I didn't mind his performance. I'll be honest. He did what he had to do. Yeah. He cleared a couple headers, couple corners. Sorry. Played his passes. Maybe played a few in the middle that he needed to play, the ones that Varane was playing as well. There's nothing else really, just the goal that we conceded wasn't because of him. Mm-hmm. I can't really be too mad at him for that. As a sub, for what we needed from him, he probably gets like a solid 7. He didn't play that bad.
He didn't, still can't really say he done anything wrong.
So obviously he didn't play a full game, so I don't feel like I could give him higher than that. So
played more than an hour, so it's fair enough. But yeah, who else come on next now? Lindelof went the first sub, or was he? No, Fred. Fred was the first sub. Fred come on for Sancho. That's what it was. Fred. It was more of the usual. Running a lot, tackling a lot, getting pushed over a lot. It was pretty much a lot of the same that I see from you. I'd probably say you needed to get forward a little more. When you didn't execute whatever it was you was trying to do at times. There was a time you got the ball, you could have tried to whip it in. I don't know if it was a whipping or if it was a shot, but it went wherever the hell it went.
Yeah, that's silly. Yeah, it looked like a pass to me, but he just
personally, I'll probably give you a 5.5 about that. Like, it was nothing major you done. I wouldn't really say you done much wrong. You got booked, but that's because you was complaining about the penalty. So it's not like it was an actual challenge. So yeah, 5.5 for Fred.
Who were the last two? Elanga and McTominay. Honestly, I don't even feel like either of those two deserve a rating. I'll be so real. I don't feel like Elanga did absolutely anything in the time that he had.
You just done that one sprint,
that one
Jorginho,
little where he got passed and got fouled by Jorginho. Yeah, well, that's the one thing he did in 10 minutes, 14 minutes. He came on in like 82nd or something.
Yeah, so
6 minutes. Yeah, so it was around 12 to 14 minutes, something like that he played. Did one good thing. So if you want to give him a higher rating than this, you can. But 1 out of 10 for me, man. He didn't do anything as a sub. It's just it is what it is. He didn't have enough time, maybe as well. Can factor that in, but he didn't do anything. Sancho was worse for the time that he had, but for me, I wouldn't even give Elanga a rating. I don't feel like he played enough.
Hey, I would personally give McTominay a rating because he does. I said Elanga. I would probably say he deserved personally. I would give him a 4. I would have gave him a 4 because the little time that he did have, what he did do was try to keep getting down that channel. That's what he kept trying to do. Just kept trying to go down the wing. Tried to give an option on the wing. He kept going wide. That's what you need to do as a wing. Just keep going wide, and he done that. So personally, I would give him a 4. And McTominay, you weren't saucy today, so we're not going to give you the sauce title because you gave away a penalty, even though it was weak. You still gave it away. You didn't really need to have both hands around him. You could have just had the one. I think we just had the one. They wouldn't have gave it. Or even if the ref gave it, I think VAR should have overturned it with just a one hand. But because two, and it was kind of locked, yeah. But my man was getting to the floor, so that's I would personally give you a 1. No, personally that one would have gave you a 0. But in that cam position you was playing, even though it's not your position at all, you did make like 2-3 little tackles up there that stopped them. They tried to make passes and you broke it. So, and you was giving us an extra option up top, which led to Casemiro's goal from giving us any option to just cross the ball in, because we didn't have that option today at all to cross the ball into someone to try and get a header. So yeah, that will probably save you and get you the 1. That's what I'd give for you lot, well for you McTominay. And then we're left with who now? 10. 10 personally for me, you want 10. You set out the correct lineup, the correct squad. From what we had, it was definitely the correct squad. Maybe bar Shaw, because of Shaw didn't come out how he came out against Tottenham. So yeah, but overall you put out the right squad. What personally I felt you done wrong, you left Eriksen on the field for too long, and then when you did take him off, you put McTominay in Cam and Bruno up top. So I was very confused on that. So personally, besides those two, you didn't really do anything else wrong. Obviously Fred for Sancho, it weren't a bad sub at all, because Sancho weren't doing anything. You felt like you didn't really need to bring on an attacking player because you could just put Eriksen, Cam and Bruno left, and I understood that. I didn't have complaints about that. So yeah, bar that, personally I'd give you an 8 today.
Yeah, as usual, what we've been seeing from 10 as well is that he's been coaching games where we should be scoring at least 2 or 3 goals. That's what I've been seeing in all these games, and it's annoying because out of, I think in the entire top 10 almost, we're one of like the lowest scoring teams. And
Definitely.
that's just frustrating, man, because
I'm sure we're still in minus on
our
goal
goal difference is
no.
0 at the moment.
Zero.
Yeah.
0. I thought we were
Literally
minus still.
But yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, he doesn't have like that many subs to make. So like he made the subs of what he had, but we were saying at one point as well during the match that maybe he could have brought on Garnacho, could have brought on that little Zidane guy.
Just put some faith in the young G's. That's what I feel like you need to do.
Do something, fam. Like I know he tried to do that with Elanga, but I wouldn't have kept, as you said as well, we wouldn't have, there's no point bringing on McTominay for that.
To put him in Cam.
And then having Fred there and Bruno up top. It's just I don't want that, man. I don't want that. I want Bruno behind the striker so that he can either shoot depending on the run he makes or he can create. But to just have him up top there and then McTominay behind him, It's just, it was a very, very weird choice, I'll be honest, because with one of the young G's, you could have had a guy running up, making the overlap, making the pass as well, more energy. Like, not to say McTominay doesn't have energy, but he doesn't have that pace of like a forward player. You can put him in the midfield and maybe you can use his physicality. That's where he's good. But yeah, this Ten Hag is at 8. We did what we had to do. We just didn't create. We didn't finish our chances.
But yeah, man. But obviously that's going to be it from the player rating side. We're all disappointed that no team could win. That we sat here through another draw. As it normally is. It's now 26 draws that Chelsea and Man United have had in the Premier League. No other game has been drawn more. So yeah, it just is what it is. But that's going to be it for the player ratings video. I appreciate you guys for joining me for the watch along, match preview, and all that stuff again. But that's going to be it from us. We'll catch you guys. Well, I'll catch you guys on Tuesday, but these guys will catch you when we ever play Manchester United again. So, we are out for now. And as always, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Facebook for more Chelsea content. I am CFC with this blue, and I'm out. Peace. Come on, Chelsea. Come on, Chelsea.
Come on, United.